going to silence my phone. Oh, I'm not going to do it in time. Ooh, did it just in time. Wow. Woo! Just managed to silence my phone before it started going. Wow. I mean, I saw the notification come up right after I did it. Let's see. Wow. I held a message for a reason. Smart. Allow a post. Top rated. Yeah, no. Thanks. Good grief. Okay. Wow. I cannot believe how right on the mark that was. Okay. Let's wait for all our stuff to pop up. Yeah. Okay. I've already done all my Discord stuff. The only place I didn't post was Blue Sky. Hold on a minute. I did forget that one. All the other posting has been done. Amazingly, I actually planned it out fairly well, but let me do that just in case. I don't think anybody actually has ever, well, I shouldn't say it like that. I have no way of knowing if anybody's ever used that link or not. I don't have my chat stuff running quite yet, so give me a moment. On the off chance anybody's actually already here, which is, again, highly unlikely, but even though it shows chat rate 1, but it doesn't show viewers, so I don't think that means anything. No, it doesn't show if there's any live. That's running. Okay, good. All right, let's get social stream up and going. Select live source. Good. Activate. Perfect. Go to live. Thank you very much. Let's go to the second one. Also amazingly live. That's quick. Maybe because I prepped this properly for once. Yeah, let's switch to live chat. I don't care about top chat. I'm not in a position. All right, let me turn my sound on. Hold on. All right, let's activate the box. Perfect. Well, now I can go to here and let's go ahead and make sure that we are linked to the correct window so this will actually show up. So there we go. All right, let's do a quick test of it. So this will be TEST1. And I see it, and so I can close this window. I kind of have the rhythm of this down at this point. 2, 1. Test 2 is visible, so I can now close this posted. Yes, so I can close this, and there we go. And then I just need to arrange the windows very quickly, and I need to check Twitch stream chat. Test 3, bang. And we're good. Everything's working amazingly. So then I just need to, in the background, I just need to make sure Let's View is there. I see it. Good. It's not quite the right size, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, all right, let's go. So let's do our intro bit. And we'll get right into it. I don't know how long a stream this is going to be today. I'm doing something a little different. Well, actually, I guess not. I don't know. Maybe I did do this once before. Well, no, I've planned paintings before. Sorry, I'm just getting a quick sip of coffee here. Helps to turn the visibility on. There we go. Okay. Bear with me a second. Okay. So, I just did a version of this painting. Exactly what this is, a picture of the painting I just did. And in that particular painting, I'll just show you. I did like a cold blue wash on it. So basically, if we do this and make this multiply along the lines of this, with some teal around the edges, this thing. But this is basically a wintry scene, a very cold and cool blue scene. It's actually not even that dark. So it's more like, probably like that. And then, like I said, there's some, I have this really, really beautiful teal color, which this is not going to be able to reproduce. But let me, just so you have an idea. I mean, I could probably have just literally sent a picture of it. Actually, you know what? Whatever. This is just as good. You're not going to care. You're going to see this for 2 seconds anyway. Where's the oil brushes? Where did I put them here? Oils. Right, and then on the outsides, I basically have this teal color that's like darkening, and it comes in very, very similar to this. Just to kind of vignette it a bit, and then, you know, there's some detail down here, and that's it. So that's the blue one. And it came out fine. I like it. But I immediately, when I finished it, thought, well, what if I did another version where it's more of an autumn or a fall or a Halloween scene, a more warm orangey yellow kind of colors. And also in this next one, which is what I'm going to plan today here, because I just want to see it. In this other one, I'm going to make the trees far more crooked, because this is peaceful and nice and sweet, but I want to go kind of to my my comfort zone, which is sinister. So we're going to plan out well, let me see, what kind of brush do I want to use for something like this? Because it's like a splotchy, because this is, grainy, hold on. So many of these brushes. That could work. Ooh, actually, this probably is the best. Let me see what this looks like. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Okay, let's bump this up. Hold on, am I in the right layer? Yeah. Oh wait, is this a multiplier? No. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's actually really good. That's a really nice simulation of the brush. Okay, but there's a couple things I'm gonna change with this now. I'm gonna have the light source be off center, so more like up there and radiating out, although probably bigger, so something like that. And I want to have less ground, which is exactly what that is. The ground's going to be a little more central, but there's going to be less of it. I really want more of the light beams. I'm going to do a heavy emphasis on the light beams. Let me just see. That's probably about what I'm looking for. That's one of the reasons I want to plan this out a little bit. So we're gonna just simulate exactly what I've already painted the canvas black. So outside I've had it drying for 24 hours. So right after this stream, I am, no exaggeration, gonna get up and go outside and do the white part, the white splotches that I'm about to do right now. So let me put a film in between here. So let's go ahead and do a fill layer and just drop that, just so that so that this stands out more. Okay, so hold on a minute. Sorry, I just want to make sure of something. Just checking one quick thing because I saw an alert on my phone. Okay, it's not something I have to worry about. Just making sure. Okay, so now let's switch back to white, and let's go right here, and let's start, because this is exactly how I'm going to do this. Now, maybe I can simulate that. Let me see. Is there a way to simulate that properly? I don't know that this is going to work as far as the pressure part, because on the actual painting, as I go outward from the center, the paint obviously lightens up because there's less of it. But I don't know if there's a real way to simulate that with this outside of maybe the pressure sensitivity. So let's just see. So if I drop the opacity down, I could sort of fake it. Not really. I just have to go a lot heavier in the center, and then, but it'll give you an idea, and then you just kind of work out. All right, that's not bad. It's enough of it that you get a sense of it, right? But I really want to have the light source off center. I want it to be further up. In fact, I don't even know if I've gone far enough for what I want to do here. So we'll see. But this is okay. This is giving me a general sense, but I got to really heavy it in the center so that you can really see what I'm talking about, and just kind of repeat that. But this is what it's gonna essentially look like, and just do a little bit of that to simulate it without, having to keep tapping the screen over and over and over. Right, so this comes out, and then you just kind of radiate it out. I am going to try one other thing, I think, too. But that's, again, why I want to do it here, so that I can kind of get an idea. So today, I'm going to be doing just this part, and I'm going to let it dry overnight. I want it to dry for a full 24 hours, because there can be a lot of paint in this. So I don't want to take the risk that when I go in to do the tree part, that I pick up any of that white paint. I want it to have really, really harsh black lines. And so on the, what's the word for it? On the background painting, the way that you do it is, or the way that it's laid out, it kind of arcs down and then up. And I'm going to do that same thing here. It's going to be largely the same, where this is going to arc out and get progressively darker, except that in the original it's kind of like a V. It's like that, and in this it's going to be more like that. right? So then all this gets filled in, and I can just kind of, we don't have to literally simulate it. This is a planning thing, so this will radiate out and get lighter, right? So that's where it's going to go to. All right, and then so this is going to be bigger. Like I really want this to be, and this is part, like I said, there's going to be a lot of paint right here, and that's part of the reason that I want to let it dry overnight. I could probably just let it dry for 4 or 5 hours and it would be fine, but I don't want to take a chance. I want it to be dry. There's really no rush. This is not something you rush through. Art should be fun, so why rush? Right? So this is where the light source, which as you can see, even with, so if, oh, well, I moved it. Well, it was centered. I mean, the original, hold on, let me see if I can find the original photo. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me just, where did I put it? Hold on. Here. Okay. Right. All right. Turn this back on. So, oh, sorry. I was clicking the wrong thing. Okay. So this is the original, right? So if we center this, just zoom out a little bit. If we center and rotate this, hold on. More or less. That's close enough. Right. Okay. So you can see this is the one I already did. And see, I'm moving that light source. Not a ton, but it is moved. So from here to there. That's what I'm doing. And the tree is also going to be very, very different now. All right, so let's turn this off. Now let's assume, sorry, wrong layer. Let's assume that now it's dried, and now this is going to be the next day. So 24 hours later. Sorry, sip coffee. And this is where I want to put the trees in. And the reason I want to do this is because, again, in this one, the tree is very straight, which wasn't real. I didn't really think about it when I was doing it. I was more concerned when I was doing this one. My primary, my primary concern was really to not make the tree too thick at the bottom. Because I've done, I think on the first, this will now be my 4th run at this particular image. The first one came out fine, but I didn't love it. Because I was trying to do something with color, it didn't work. Then I did another one. That one came out better, but again, I did not really manage, the colors don't look right on it. And I don't think there's any way for me to fix it now. It's just what it is. I don't love it. Again, it's better, but I still don't like it. The blue one, this one with the blue tint, I like far better. It's 80 to 85% what I want the image to look like. It's fine. I will probably end up giving that to somebody. I think it's a nice painting. I don't think it's a very good paint. I shouldn't say it that way, because then it makes it sound like I'm just dumping what I think is a bad painting on somebody, and that's really not what I'm doing. It's a good painting, and I think there are, I mean, I posted in a couple places, and people really like it, and I believe them, and this is the nature of art, right? So the fact that somebody else really likes it means it's a good painting. Whether I look at it and would want it to keep it myself doesn't matter. I will end up, I'm supposed to be doing amazingly, I'm supposed to be doing a art show in February, so next month, as this is being streamed. I'm going to keep it till then so that I can show it, just so I have stuff to put up that's physical, because I do a lot of digital work, and I don't know if I'm going to have multiple, I don't know what I'm going to have access to, so I want to have physical pieces, and luckily these are very large, so it's very easy to fill space with them. But I want to have stuff there. And on the off chance that somebody says, hey, is that for sale? I'll sell it to them. They can have it. I'll sell it for, oh, I don't know. I mean, I've never sold a painting before. I would imagine, I'd have to look up the pricing, but I have to factor in the materials. It ain't cheap. I mean, just the thinner and the paint cost alone, I would say probably a couple $100. I don't know if somebody would actually pay that. I don't know if somebody would pay that. Anyway, that's not important. What I'm getting at is, so this is now, in my mind, for me, this is 85% of what I want it to be. So now I want to get it to, I'm not going to get it to 100%. You never get it to 100%. But I want to get it closer to that number. So Let's turn this back on. Let's turn this off. And then we're going to do our tree. Now I'm going to do, what I'm going to do here is actually the inverse of what I will really do. So let's just grab we might as well just use a brush because it's going to be a foam brush. And I'll explain what I mean about what I just said, which makes no sense until you actually see what I'm talking about. All right, now does this have, I don't know if this would be black. Yeah. So yeah, that's not pressure sensitive. So what I actually need is the taper brush, because that's closer to what the actual foam brush will do. Yep, that's pretty good. Where are we at? Let's go to, well, what's how big is that? Yeah, okay, let's go to 50. I mean, the brush can get very thick, so now I want this to be a very gnarled, crooked tree, very unlike this straight tree. So this is going to kind of come through here and just kind of go off like, okay, I do need it to be thinner. I thought that might happen. Let me do this. Because okay. Like that. And then kind of bent over and like that. Yes. A lot of kind of motion and weight to it. And the nice part about doing it like this is I can, if I do this on the canvas and I don't like it, I'm done. Like I can't fix it. Here, I can fix it and get it to what I want it to be so that I can kind of keep this, I can basically have this on my phone to get the angles right and just kind of know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's actually pretty good right there. Maybe I'll do one more that comes off. No, it should come off differently. It should come off down. Nah, not like that though. Hold on, let's have one like that. You know what it is? I know what it is. Actually, just in case I don't know what it is, let's duplicate this one. Okay, now let me erase this really quick. Okay, bigger eraser, please. Right, okay, like that. Yeah, now let's come back in. The bottom was fine, but I want it to come down like that. And then I can have another one that comes out like this. No, not like that. Like that. Hold on. Maybe I was fine the way it was. Maybe that is better. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna stick with that. I don't think that other branch looks right. So, you know, and then basically this will all get filled in down here. But I want to see something. I don't think I want to do that. So then now this should branch off though. Branch off. No, sorry. I have to think what a tree literally does. Okay, there we go. So a tree would come up like that, and then this comes off. Well, not like that, but yeah, I don't like that either. See, the nice part about all this is what I mean about I can do this now. Actually, I don't need the taper brush anymore. I can now come in with a standard brush. Just a round brush, yeah. This is all going to get filled in. So just so you have an idea of what it's going to be. This will all be filled in because the bottom of the tree should still be very thick and supportive of what we're doing. So this would all be filled in. You know, I really don't need the grid on right now. Grid doesn't really add anything at this moment. So I'll turn that off so I can. So this would be this is the big main center point. Actually, I'm an idiot. Why don't I just pull up some images of gnarled trees? I don't know why I just don't look at an actual reference from nature as opposed to making this all up myself. Reference is a good thing. Use it. Wow, yeah, there's some crazy trees out there. Holy cow, look at these things. You can't see them, I know, but I'm looking at them. Let me see. Something like what I'm looking for here. Wow, yeah, some of these trees are just lunacy. I mean, where it doesn't look real. Okay, all right, hold on. So wait a minute. So actually, you know what? I may have been more right than I knew without meaning to be. Let me do a new layer. Let's get that taper brush back. So then let's do one like that. Ah, yeah. See, that's what I should have been going for, is more of a really insane shape. Well, not that insane. I still want it to look somewhat, you know, something like that. Yeah. And then this top piece should actually probably split. Let me see here. So if I go back to this and let's turn that one off. Let's turn this one back on. Wrong layer. There, yeah, okay. Turn that off. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of that for a minute. Okay. Now let's come back to this. And let's get this back. Okay. So then, basically what I should be going for is something like that, where the trunk splits. I'm just looking at a picture now to get an idea. Okay, and then this trunk would come up. And then this would be its own thing there. And then that, you know what? That's the problem with this one, is it's too straight. See, I'm trying to go for a gnarled tree, and I didn't really go all in on it. So this needs to go, right? And now it looks like a crooked tree. So now we're where we need to be. Yeah. Although why does that look so weird? Well, that shouldn't be there. Hold on. Yeah, this here needs to go. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. So now let's fill that in and let's see what we're looking at. So let's go to the regular brush. Let's go underneath this in case I decide to change my mind again. But see, this is why this is not something you can figure out on a canvas. I mean, I could, but I would likely be really upset if I thought later, oh, I didn't get the shape right. Whereas now I can work it out, have this ready to look at. It's not going to be exact. I'm not going to literally print this out and use it as a what's the word for it? Oh my God, why can't I think of the word? Yeah, I'm sure you know the word I'm trying to think of. It's not going to be something I'm going to trace from, whatever the word is for that I can't obviously think of. My brain is just, it's an obvious word too, and I can't think of it. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to use this as a direct one-to-one template. Template? Maybe. But it's going to be the guide. This will be the guide of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say, okay, fine. So this is going to come down. There's roots there. You know, wherever these land, I don't really care. It's not a big deal. So that's our main tree, right? However, as you can see, it doesn't make sense with the light. That's because this isn't actually the way it's going to be. What it's going to be is that way. Oh, I'm missing some. Hold on. I need this. Duplicate, turn off, bring up, whoop, and bring down. Turn everything else off. Make sure I have... Oh, no, I need that too. Duplicate, bring up, turn off, merge down. There's my complete tree, yes. Yeah, except I don't like that arm now. So let's fix this. This doesn't look right. It's too thick for where it is on the tree. So that's okay. Again, that's the nice part about doing it this way. So what we want is... Ooh, that's a neat... There's a really neat branch on this one tree. Let me see if I can manage this. Hold on. I'm just going to basically draw what this tree is. It's like that. It's just kind of swirling off from the tree. Well, actually what it is it's more like an arm that comes this way and then branches like that. Ooh, yeah, that's good. Yep. That's it. That's what we need. See? That's what I need. Do I want it to be positioned there? You know what? It's probably fine. I think I'm just going to leave it where it is. I was planning to move it, but I think it's maybe good where it is. So let's just do that. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's really good. Okay. So we burge down. That's our tree now. Now we flip. And now we place where we need it for the light source, which would be there. See what I mean? That's... Now the light source will make sense when eventually it's up here. That's going to be coming through that area. Yeah. So that's... Now, you're not going to see that... Right, or no, sorry. This will be behind it. like that. And then I'm going to be painting. The final step is to go, or sorry, the second to final step is to go over it with the, no, it is the final step. The final step is to do the white and then a color wash, which will be the yellows and greens. But this is the foundation right here. This is what I want it to be. Now, in the background, what I'm going to do is, just so I, again, have an accurate idea, is while the light source is there, I do want the path to be over here. So see, now that lets me, now I can basically plan out the path really easily, where I'm just going to grab, let's grab the oil brush. Because what's the difference? Might as well just use it. Let's see, there's oil. And let's use, oil round medium. That's a good one. So let's just go over this. And let's figure out the path. Oh. Wait a minute. Why is it not? Why is it? Am I on the wrong layer? No, I'm on the right layer. Why is it doing it like that? The opacity is like off. It's not black. That's strange. Hold on. Why is it like that? Is it because it's not a solid brush? That could be. Let me go to the top. Let's go to thick oil. There we go. Yeah, that's why. Okay, that looks like what I'm looking for. So then in here, well, realistically, actually, now this is where I'm planning on doing something a little different. So let's assume that I've got the, actually, let's focus on the trees. Sorry. I should focus on the trees. Let's get the trees done, because I want to see what these look like if I do what I'm planning to. How thick is that? Yeah, that's good. So then my plan is to have more of like twisty trees in the background where they're kind of crossing through and crossing around. See, I wanted there to be a lot of motion to these back trees, which is not the case in the one that I did already. The one that I did already, the trees are very straight, and that's what I don't want. I want there to be a lot of weird angularness to them, where these trees feel like they're kind of almost moving. Yeah, like that. I want this to be a much more dynamic thing to look at than the other one is. Weirdly, my OBS window keeps burying itself. I don't know why it's doing that. That's really strange. It's not a huge deal, but it's odd. It usually doesn't do that. Okay, there we go. I want to make sure you can actually, I want to make sure the stream didn't freeze. Okay, so yeah, we're doing these branches, and these are just bases. There will be branches coming off them, but this is just literally the base shapes. See, I'm gonna, no, that one, see, it's not twisty enough. I want it to have a lot of angle to it, like that. And then I will have slightly less, like a gray, like a dark gray, right? And these will go around and through. I'm still not even sold that these look right, but these will also be a lot thinner than this, probably. And that comes off there. We'll do one back here. And one here that kind of mirrors that, right? So that'll be the background trees. Then, is there anything in this? No, empty. Then in the front, we would come back with, where are the oil brushes? Here it was. Which one did I use? I used that one down here. It was a little splotchy one. What was it? I'll know it when I see it. Maybe I won't. Hold on. It wasn't that one, but it looked like that. Messy oil wet. No, it wouldn't be. Hold on. Where is it? It had a shorter thing. Oh wait, it was around here. Hold on. Was it texture dabs? Might have been. Yes, that was it. Okay. Okay. Actually, I want to look at wet bristle, wet splashes. Ooh, this might actually be better. Oh yeah, that's better for like the sponge. So then, once all the trees are laid in, then the next plan is to come in here, but this time instead of using white, there's like an off-white color I've got. It's a very, very subtle off-white. It's probably close to that. And I think I'm going to use that color for the bottom branches. Because again, it's supposed to be like an autumnal, right? Yeah, autumn feel and color. So I think instead of, okay, I don't know, the dabs are a little bit bigger. That's a nice brush though. Let's go to 30. So I'm going to come back in with the sponge again. Okay, well, that's actually a very good sponge effect, but now it's too big. So let me go down to 20, just so I can keep this manageable. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go over all this. Very similar to how the other one is, and have this come in. But in this case, I'm going to come to there, have it over here. Again, very similar. But I want less of the ground. I want this to be more about the trees. Where is that splotch from? Oh, that's that. Okay. So that means I didn't have enough black here with the ink pen. Oh, wrong ink pen. This one. Or actually, no, paint pen. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay. Just so I'm keeping consistent here. Okay. Go back to this color. Go back to the oil. Oil, where are you? There you are. Okay. All right. So similar idea. Not going to be completely different. And then, but see now, okay, I'm only going to have this one bright layer down here that I'll do at the end. You know? And that, I think that's going to look nicer. I hope it looks nicer. But also, where's my path? Let's get this path sketched in. Because this is something, because I want to have the path like this. Path will come through there. Right, and then it's going to come out there. So that's where that's the plan for the path. It's going to wind a little bit. You see there's going to be some here, and then it'll come back. Actually, it can come further in. Come further over than that. Okay, so that's going to be the path. So let's just blacken this all in. So that's our path, right? Okay, so the path is there. Now let's go back up here. Let's jump back to this color. Go back to our oil brush. And then this is where, and maybe I will try to make some of these taller. You know what? How do I think about this? Hold on. Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. Yeah, canvas come up. But I do want, definitely going to have some of this stuff going further up. I want more vertical feel. See that looks so much better than just the flat ones that I've done before. I want these to really be like tall, like coming up, like feel like actual plants. That's fine down there. And then let's go a layer under that. Same color, but a little darker because I'm going to add some black to it. Push it down. Or I'm sorry, this should actually be on top of this, but not the other one. So what I need to do is I wasn't thinking about this because I'm going to do this in separate things. So if I take this out, right, take all that out. Okay, ooh, there we go. And then on this one, that's that. This one, I need to take this out. Yep, okay. And then put this back in. And then it would be in between these is where this darker one's going to go. So we would come in here again with the brush. Or the sponge. And I would do... Wait, why is that not... Oh, I did it backwards. It should be like that. So hold on, let me fix this. I got my layer order incorrect. Okay. Okay, so this should actually be on top. And this should be in the middle. This is going to be the darker one. So this would come in like this. And again... space it out and just form this path, and I'll come over it with the black, so that's okay. Same thing here where we'll have these kind of this darker. See, I think it's going to look good once the wash is on it, but that's also what I want to test. So hold on a minute, get a drink here. Is to see how this color reacts. It's going to be similar to this, and then I would go one shade further down, and then that would go over everything like this. And this is what will then be scrubbed over with the path. So that would go there. Put some of that there. See, I think it's going to look better than just white. I could actually, if I wanted to, I could put a little of this here. I might, just to keep that from being completely All right, and then the path is here, so now I can actually simulate this by doing that. So there's the path kind of cutting in. Although you wouldn't want it to entirely cut in. It would be maybe there. Well, let's see. Yeah, I guess you would want it to be under. I guess it would be under. I don't know why that grouped that. Kill that group, thanks. So maybe actually that is better. Yeah, that is better, just to leave it like that. And then I can just come into here with the paintbrush and black. And I can just fill this in, and this would all be blackened in. See, all this is black. That's good. Okay, so that's the fundamental picture right there. That's it. And you can see, if we compare, right? So let's move this way up, and you can just see the drastic difference in these two. That's the one that I just did with a... Here, let's just give it a blue wash, just so that we have a sense of it. So let's do a quick fill, okay? So it's like that. So this is what we currently have. Again, with a little bit of alteration, but fundamentally that's it. So if I merge down, so we're going from that to this. See how different that is already, just in the feel, the motion, and that's without all the details. Because then I'm going to come in, just like in this one, you could see all these. Oh, you can't on that one. This isn't the finished piece. See, I knew I didn't. Okay, wait a minute. I didn't. Hold on. This isn't the finished piece. I knew I didn't have the right picture here. This is before I added all the branches in. Hold on a minute. Let me see something here. I knew I didn't send myself the right image. Yeah, I don't care about my channel being live. I understand. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't send myself the right photo. Of course I didn't. Subject tree. Just so I want you to see what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, I'm a moron. Of course that wasn't the right one because the light shine wasn't in it. Unbelievable. Oh, I have to put a recipient. Of course I do. It's going to be me. It's a me. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me jump to my email. So I'm going to turn this off for 2 seconds so I can just jump right to my email. I can't believe I pulled the wrong friggin' image. I mean, of course I can believe it. Oh, yeah, no, wait. I wouldn't be doing it on here. I'm doing it on here. I'm on the wrong thing. Go back. Give this a minute. It's going to update itself. Come on, update. Of course, doing this while I'm doing a stream is probably great for it. There it is. Okay. I have to download the image. Dropped frames. Yeah, look at me. Probably a few drop frames while I'm doing this. Get some coffee while I'm waiting. Although I really shouldn't complain. My internet has been, knock on wood, exceptionally good lately. Stable. I mean, I think they've actually, for as much as people complain about ISPs, and don't get me wrong, I have my complaints about Comcast. Believe me, I do. But I have to say, they did a couple of what they said days of improvement where our internet was knocked out, and it does seem to have improved something. So if you're going to complain about something, you also have to give credit where it's due. And I will say, it does seem like it is, like there has been, something has gotten better about it. So as weird as it is for, again, we all complain about our ISPs with reason. Of course, I said that now this thing isn't downloading, so you know what? Hold on, let me try it this way. Maybe it's better if I don't do it on the iPad itself. Maybe if I do it here on the computer and then just airdrop it over. That might be a better way. Hold on. Jeez, no, it's just taking forever to get this. Oh, okay, it just popped up. So hold on, let me check my other one. Maybe it popped up here. Oh yeah, okay, no, it's almost done. Yeah, so I'll just give it a second. It's coming through now. I think it was just, I mean, I emailed it to myself instead of, because it's on my Android phone, so I can't airdrop it. I can do the land drop thing, but that takes almost as long as just waiting. But anyway, we can go back. Hold on. I can turn this off. Turn this off. All right, so back to this. So the idea is, come on. Yeah. There it goes. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the idea will be, because I'll show you that in a minute. So for this, let's add a layer. Let's make it a multiply layer. And what I should have done was actually gotten the paint colors, and they're outside. But essentially what my plan is to come in with a kind of a pale yellow that I've got, and do we can just wash the whole image. See how that yellow pops on those. And it's not that, oh, let me get that corner. It's not that yellow wouldn't, if just as an example, if I make this white, it's still yellow, but I kind of like it's got this kind of, there's like it's mixing with the color a little bit down there. Right? So the idea is going to be that there's going to be that first wash of yellow. After the light beams, of course, which, yeah, so the light beams, well, I really can just duplicate this. It's a very easy way to do it. So if I do light beams, it will be like that, except not nearly as much of it. So let's just, I'm doing this very, very quickly, just so you get a sense. So obviously it's not going to quite look like this, right? But, and also this will be white, so this will go over. I don't know why it keeps doing this group crap. And I think it's trying to be smart, and it's not doing a very good job of it. So the white will blend in to some degree with the yellow. So it's not quite a multiply, but it will absorb some of the color. It won't stay purely, well, actually, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it as is, right? And then with the white, what I'm going to do is, I doubt there's a fan brush in here. It would be hard to simulate that anyway. I doubt it. Just looking. Palette knife, interesting. Well, you know what? A palette knife can kind of simulate it. Maybe. Why is it? So I don't know why this is changing colors. That's odd to me. So let's just go with. We'll go with an oil. Let's go with canvas bristle, messy oil. Let's do canvas bristle. What's that look like? Okay, that'll work. So then there's going to be these. I have to make them very large. Okay, well, not that large. All right, this is good. Once I've got the pen, it's better. Ooh, that's good. Okay. So then, now this is the thing I haven't done before. I'm going to do these streaks, right? These are the streaks of light that are going to be coming out. Which, actually, in general, I think I'm going to have it like, well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do them in several places, right? So they're going to be like that, that, that. And then, this is the tricky bit. I don't really know how to simulate this. Oh, well, I just realized what my mistake was there. Yeah, hold on. I should not have put those all in the same layer. I'm going to do this. Okay. So then from this light area, there's going to be these streaks coming down. Basically in that area, or in this direction, which is also different from the other one where it was more uniform, but it's going to be very much on the right side here. Right? I'm going to do that. And then let's go ahead and duplicate. And the closest I can think to make this what I'm talking about is, yeah, but it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. So I probably need to, instead of doing that, delete. Let's do a new layer, but let's do an airbrush, I guess. Probably the closest I can get to, well, actually, hold on. Because I'm going to take the brush. So actually, I can do it this way, but in case I screw it up. So if I go liquefy, yeah, no, it's not liquefy. It's going to be, what would it be? What would it be? Liquefy is the wrong thing. It's almost like a smudge. Here we go. Oh. Did that not smudge? Hello? Is it not smudging? Or do I have to do this? Oh, that's it. Okay, got it. So then, I mean, this is, yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. So then with the brush, I'm doing that, right? So that's how you achieve the light effect. Yeah, that's a pretty good approximation, actually. That's not bad. That sort of gets you there. Yeah, that's what, I mean, it's going to look a lot nicer than this. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't done it yet. I'm hoping it looks a lot nicer than this. But this is the idea. You create this effect by taking the brush and you just kind of drag it so that it creates this light effect. But then what I want to do is come in and with the brush, with the lighter thing, so something like this. Okay. But then I want to create like these shafts of light where it's going to be like this. I mean, it's not right because it's going to be a lot lighter than that. Let's do a layer under here that I can kind of, I'll be able to, but I'm going to try to do something like this where I come through and, you know, kind of just put in these harsher area. Again, this is not how it's going to look at all, so just give me a minute here because this looks all wrong. This is not at all what it's going to look like, I don't think. But now if I come in with the blur, that's getting closer. It's still not right. It's not quite right. But hold on, I think that image may be there now. So let me see if I can show you the finished image so you can see what I'm talking about. Yep, there it is. All right, so I need to copy, come here, and let's do a paste. Wow, and let's size it up correctly. I don't know what they did to iPad OS. They tried to make it smarter, and of course, you know, they didn't. All right, here, now you can see it. So that is the, so I don't really need this anymore. That's the finished one. See those light beams? You see how there's the kind of that shadowy in-between stuff? So that's what I want to do with this, but again, it'll be, and if you look at that, you can see it picks up a little bit of the color, which is good, because it's going to have that wash behind it. So it will have some color, but it will not be totally yellow. So probably, I don't know, if I were to mess with this, maybe like that, you know, more or less. Oh, I did the wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, here we go. So actually, it's this that I want to do. That'll pick up some of the color more. But that's the idea. This is kind of what I'm going for, if that makes sense. And now the other way I could go is I also have oranges. So do I want to do an orange wash? So let's change this is another thing I'm trying to work out. So if I go more orange, like, well, geez, no, that doesn't look right at all. That's pink. Okay, I guess it can't really simulate orange when I go from there. So something like this. All right, now let's get that thing, and let's wash the whole, okay, well, it'll look fine in a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Let's go to multiply. See, now that's the orange one. Ooh. I kind of like that. Wow. You know what? That background looks a lot better, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at that back. I mean, that. Well, I think that decision's been made. Let's compare. Yellow. Right? It's the yellow version. Not bad. But now we put that in there. Right? Now, I think it's pretty easy to say that's the better version. Hold on, did I miss a spot? Oh, I know what that is. That's the white of this. I missed erasing some of it. That's this. This won't be there. Yeah. I think I know what color I'm going with, huh? I mean, that's it, right? That sure looks like it's it to me. I mean, I could also do a red, but I have not done a really orangey painting. I've done a lot of reds. In fact, I have a red that's in process right now. So I feel like I should do something different because I already have a big red painting that's already that's in the works, and that one's going to be a very specific painting. I mean, don't get me wrong, red looks good too, although it would have to be a lighter red than that because you almost lose. See, yeah, I love red. I love red. I love it. But I don't think that looks good. I don't think that looks right. I think that looks right. Now I'm going to have to find this type of... I have several oranges. I just have to see which one looks the most like this. But this feels like... And I will probably do some darker... God, I don't know if I need to, though, the way this looks. I may not need to do any dark edges because, man, that looks good like that. I don't think I need to do anything else. Wow. If it comes out that well, which I really hope it does, that's pretty good. Now the question is, now that I'm seeing that, let me see something. Because I said I wasn't going to do any white trees. And my impulse is not to. but now that there's color involved, let me grab the taper pen. Down there, right? Yes, okay. Well, let's see something. But I really think that white... Yeah, see, I just think white trees is not going to look... I don't even know that these gray trees look good. I think I might go all black on this. I feel like that looks better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that looks... That... Does it... Maybe the grays... Well, maybe the grays are worth having there. I don't know. And of course, now the other thing too, which we can't see here yet because it's not present, but the other thing, and this is what I was pointing... Oh, you can see it. Hold on, you can see it. Okay, on this one, see if we zoom in here? See all those small branches, like right there? Oh, you can't see that because I'm not on the right thing. So this is what I'm talking about that was missing. So, okay, well, that was stupid. Like these little branches, these detail branches, all that stuff is going to get done before the wash comes in. That's what was missing on that other one I was looking at. And those would be in here with again, with the taper pen. Obviously, these will be the fine pens, the small pens I have. And I'll be coming in here and doing things like this. Having these branches coming off, and all this detail work will be present before that wash goes on. It'll actually look even thinner than that. That's pretty thick compared to what it's actually going to look like, because, you know, you do these little branches coming off like that. God, that's still really... Why is it so huge? I feel like this is way bigger than it should be. Yeah, that's what it should be, something like that. So see, all this is going to come off. There will be bigger branches, don't get me wrong. Like off these, you'll have those thicker branches. But on these background trees, it's going to be a lot of this, where it's all these little branches coming off, so that you have all that detail. And see, that's all going to get washed onto too. I guess I will do the gray trees. Maybe I'll make them very dark so that they're slightly... so like these, maybe not quite as bright as this. Maybe punch the brightness down a bit, so that, see, it's hard from far away. You may not notice it as much, but up close you'll see that there's that's better. Like a dark gray, slightly, just mix a bit of white into the black, just to very slightly bring it up, or mix a little bit of black into white, whichever. I'll probably, since I'll be using black, I'll probably mix the white. Maybe not. I'll figure it out. That's okay. I don't have to plan that today. But this is fundamentally what I'm going for. Again, see that? This is what I have today. This blue wintry scene. Very, very, specific. But what I want to do next, because I could do this same thing and just change the color, but that's not really doing anything. That's literally just doing the same thing again. Whereas this is a radically different feel than this one, right? I mean, it's a completely different feel. This is like optimist and hope and, oh, look, a crisp day is dawning. And this is more like, you're stuck in the woods, and are you going to be able to get out type of thing, which is not an effect I mind. I think it's good. And then I will probably do some type of, I think what I'll probably do on this is, and I didn't do this on the other image, but I think I'm going to do it this time, is whatever that same gray that I do, right? I would take where's the oil? Take that oil brush, maybe that. Let's try this and see how it looks. And over this, I would put some kind of like a gravelly feel. So I'll do more of a, this isn't going to simulate it right at all, but because with the fan brush I can really, but I'm going to have more of this going on where you can kind of feel the path. And I'll do some of that coming in here just so you can kind of get a sense of it. And it'll come in like this and just kind of bring that in and just kind of, like that. Something like that. Just to give, so you know it's the ground. Just enough. But honestly, this is what I'm going for. This is it. So, yeah. Yep. And the nice part is, I can really, to a degree, get this correct, because with this grid, I can actually mark on the canvas, hey, Mr. Pruitt, not one layer labeled, yet you still know where each element resides. I'm never gonna get into the habit, man. I'm just never gonna get it right. It's so I'm never going to get it right. That's okay. You know what? I'm starting to figure out that that's not the most important thing. I mean, it's dumb. I could, if there were more layers, I would be lost. But yeah, I do know where they are. I don't know how long you've been here. So I don't know if you've seen the different color. Actually, did you see that? Were you here for the different color comparisons with the wash? I'm guessing not. Because I actually want to see what you think. Just as somebody outside of me. So, oh, you know, let me get rid of that too. Because I don't like that little piece of that is there. This thing. Hold on. Right there. Okay, here. Oh, you did? Okay. Well, so what's your opinion on the three colors? Right? So that's the red. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love red. I so love red, but I just think this is the... Sorry, it's not Clemson orange. That's an inside joke, everybody. Mr. Pruitt is a immense Clemson fan, so it's not Clemson orange. That might be a little overpowering for this. Unlike the team, I don't want to completely dominate everything else around it. See, there's a nice one for you. I have no idea how they're doing right now, but let's just assume they're doing really well. I don't even know if football's on. Well, football is on right now, but I have no idea if it's college or regular or if they both air at the same time. I have no idea. I don't know anything about football, except that there's a thing that people throw, and you can't kick it most of the time, unless you're trying to score what 2 points, extra point, 2 points? No, 2-point conversion. 2-point conversion is the tough thing, or is that a safety? Wait, 2-point conversion. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, back to the painting. So yeah, this is the general idea. Well, okay. You know what? Now you say that. I don't know what Oregon green is. Oh yeah, I do. I kind of do. It's sort of like that, isn't it? Sorry, you can't really see it. Let me get the paintbrush. Oh, you can see it in that corner. But I mean, I don't know if that's even inaccurate. But just as a fun exercise. But that would absolutely not be autumn. That would, again, and it wouldn't make any sense with that beige color down there. But if we were to do green, that is more or less what we would have. I could have actually just clicked the thing and said, you know, fill, and that would have been easy. But again, I don't think it has the power. It doesn't make sense with the sinister thing. That makes more sense. A green would make more sense with something like this. So if I was going to shift this into a green, like that makes sense. There's a nice green. 00730. All right, hold on. Value 007 030. Okay, so that's a very dark green. Okay, hold on. So let's do a fill that. I don't know that I'm going to be able to match that exactly here because it's that painting. But you see what I mean? That's the green shift on that. Let me turn that off, actually, just so I have that back to blue. Let's go down here. Let's do a fill. Yeah, now it's too dark. That's the problem there. Now you've lost the trees. I mean, the trees are just completely blown out. So that's kind of a similar problem with the red, even though I'm inclined to love red, which I am. And my other painting is so... I really hope I don't mess that other painting up. Even as it is right now, I really love it. So I'm really, really afraid I'm going to destroy that other painting. Because God, it looks good with the red. Yeah, see, that's just enough. That's just enough. And I have to make sure I have an orange that's like that. That other painting red, oh man, do I like that painting. I like that painting a whole bunch. And I really am concerned I'm going to screw it up. I mean, I think I could do it again, but I also don't know if I could do it again. I feel like it's if I don't get that right, because it just looks, it looks so much like skinned muscle. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can, hold on a minute. Here, I'll give you a preview of something. So here's my plan with that red painting. Okay. All right, check this out. This is where I'm going to go with the red painting. Like, I'm going full Hellraiser with, like, the shapes and everything. And then the blood spatters, which I have to clean up. But this is going to be like a Hellraiser painting where I got the pattern and everything so I get it right. And this is I'm gonna attempt blood spatter with paint, which I haven't done before. Now it's gonna be clean because this is the lines. So this is when the tape's off. This is what it looks like with the tape pulled off. Because right now it has the masking tape on it. So if I were to strip this layer off, that's what the painting looks like now. Which is just beautiful. These dark reds. This like the dark and like light areas. And I did go in with, what is it? With the 2-inch. And I kind of introduced some lines to kind of like have the, you know how muscle has the I don't know what they're called, the strings, the segmented parts to muscle. Like I tried to put that in there. It kind of worked. But again, I didn't want to mess with it too much. So I didn't overdo it. I'll turn that off so you see that line isn't actually there. But then once the tape's off, this is the black underneath. So what I'm going to do, hopefully, and then, so I may do the blood spatter. I'm not convinced that looks right yet. It might be because it's too light. I mean, it's too harsh a red. But regardless, once I have, these are the shapes, right? Oh, sure. Yeah, well, yeah, demon stuff. It's clearly supposed to be demon stuff because, you know, my impulse is sinister and scary. So that's, no, devil's advocate. Yeah, absolutely. So once I've got this in, then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it off. Once I have this pattern, once this is going to take a long time to get this right because trying to draw symmetrically is not my strength. So it will not look this clean. It won't, but that's okay. That's the nature of it. I mean, I would literally have to I guess I could get tracing paper like carbon paper and I could trace the pattern, but then I would be afraid that the pencil would be visible. So I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know yet. I mean, I could try to create a template. I don't know. But I have gold paint markers, so I know I can get the gold, like the coppery color. I can get that. So this will have a shimmer to it. It will be, you know, metallic. And then once it's done, what I want to do is probably come in with oil paint. So let me go to the oil brush. And it would be smooth wet oil probably. Let's see. Well, you know what? I think it was better off with the airbrush. Airbrush is a better way to simulate it. This digital thing cannot, at least I can't figure out how to get it to do the paint thing right. So then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to kind of do, like it's going to radiate off. It's going to be like a dark red that's going to radiate off of this. God, that's actually too light. Can't really see it. But this would be, yeah, that's way too light. Jeez. Hold on, I got to push the opacity up on that. Let's go to like 60% maybe. Better. Oh, you know what? Let's go to 75. Okay. So basically, it would be, and obviously with oil, this will be a lot easier. I say that. It might be a lot easier. This paint is going to take weeks. I mean, it literally is going to take, because the acrylic will dry pretty quick, but then I'm going to have to put on liquid clear to get this to move correctly, and then just see, I'm going to try to, and it's not going to work. Oh, actually, I know how I can make it work. So I'm just going to have this radiating off, but only on the outside. Only on the exterior of the image. So imagine, if you will, actually, I don't have to imagine. So, like that. That'll be coming off it. And then this will be taped off, so this wouldn't be a concern. But the interior would just stay like this. So it would be like it was radiating, you know, I don't know, death energy, whatever you want to call it. There's debate on whether the Hellraiser stuff is actually tied to religion or not, even though it seems like the movie's pretty much established it is. Because they talk about heaven and hell, so I don't know how you could disassociate it. But originally it wasn't supposed to be. Or it was, because I guess Clive Barker did want it to be, but then the movies didn't. So that's a whole separate thing I'm not getting into now, because I'm already starting to, and I'm not gonna ramble for an hour about that. But anyway, yeah, that's the plan with this. This is going to go full Hellraiser. And it's like I said, I just don't know about the blood spatters. I feel like maybe, I think they can work. I think they just have to be darker. I think if I go I think if I pull the darkness down on him, it'll look better. I think it's too bright the way it is. See, something like that where it's more subtle and in the background, I think would look better. I have a hunch. And then, of course, it's going to be taped off, so this is all going to be missing. So it's going to be more like that. That's what I was kind of messing with the other day. I was planning this out because, again, with a pattern like that, I can't just ad hoc that. That's the Hellraiser box, which is beautiful. I don't know why I have to get a copy of that box. They make them on Etsy. Some people make them out of really nice wood. I gotta get a Hellraiser box. It really just is one of those things I have to have. It's kind of amazing. I keep thinking that, and I never do it. I have to get one. And it's not because I subconsciously am worried that I'll open it up and that demons will come through. It's not that. I just have to actually, get one. But see, with I think that's what I'm aiming for with that one. I have a temptation, and I have to try to resist it, to put too much into it, because I think I am going to have these patterns here. Where's that one? If I duplicate that and I do a... oh, no, actually I should do not a duplicate. I should do a rotate like that. Or... there we go. Something like that. I'm going to have those there too. So this isn't going to be... those corners aren't going to be empty, but I may do variations on the size of it, right? Really? Oh, I'll have to look for that. Doug Bradley, man. What? Oh. It is really... now, you're an actor, so you would know more of this. Hellraiser or hilarious. That's great. But you want to... it is difficult to correctly state how important Doug Bradley being in that role, because I don't know if they covered this in the interview. Doug Bradley was not supposed to be Pinhead. Incidentally, Clive Barker hates the name Pinhead. He has never liked it from the beginning. He has made a very, very, very direct case in the last book that features that character to make sure that he points out that he doesn't like that name. But yeah, he wasn't supposed to be Pinhead. The guy, I think the person that they wanted, because it was so low budget, it's very much kind of a Rocky Horror situation in some ways, where, they were just scrambling to get this thing done, and I think the actor just didn't show up. And so they were like, well, we need somebody. And then, but his voice, that voice that he does, on top of the fact that makeup is just so beautiful. It's just such a magnificent character. It really is difficult. I showed my wife the first Hellraiser film. And I didn't expect her to really love it. And I could tell she was okay with it. But even she said, because I said, well, the original idea for the first Hellraiser, I don't know if you've seen it, Mr. Pruitt, or not. It's worth seeing once. I'm not going to say that you would necessarily ever watch it again, but it is worth watching once. She's a fangirl of his. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But in that first movie, the original plan was that the female antagonist in the movie, Julia, was originally the idea to be the main villain, not Pinhead. And in fact, in the first movie, those characters, the Cenobites, they're not even in the movie all that much. Maybe 10 minutes of total time for all of them. Maybe. And not even 10 continuous minutes, sprinkled here and there until the very, very end. But the original idea was Julia, who's a great actress. I don't remember the woman's name, but she's great. Very, very sinister. She was originally designed to be the main villain. In fact, if you can kind of see it in the first and second film that was what they were planning. But then once they had him, and he was in the makeup, and he did the voice and everything, that's what everybody responded to. It's like I said, it's not a movie I think most people would like because it's got a very specific British feel to it. If there's somebody from that movie that I'd really like to talk to, it wouldn't be Doug Bradley, although that would be awesome if I could ever, interview him, sure. But I really would like to talk to Ashley Lawrence, who played Kirsty, the girl, the daughter in it, because she makes weird art now. Like, she's an artist. She does, like, crazy paintings and stuff. So if there's anybody I'd want to talk to, and I will probably send an email, which will disappear into the ether, I'm sure. But she's who I'd want to actually talk to. For the movie stuff, but also really for her artwork and really dive into what she does. Because she does really dark kind of, from what I've seen, some twisted stuff, which I like. So I would really love to talk to her. But the first movie it's worth seeing. I would say, it's pretty short. I think it's 90 minutes. So it's not a long movie. It's not Stalker. Don't have to worry about that. Things happen. Don't have to worry about that. But really, I love the second, third, and fourth movies. And I know some people will roll their eyes at the fourth movie, Hellraiser in Space. And it is goofy, but I like it. But the second one, the problem with the second one, I'll never even bother trying to show my wife the second one. It's way too gory for her. She's not as much into gore. Gore doesn't bother me when I can disconnect from it, which is just, it's so over the top in that movie, you can't really take it seriously. But it also gets into, and even there, what they call hell, but it's not really hell, I don't think, because they call it, they don't actually, well, they refer to hell. Oh, certain characters refer to hell, but those are human characters who may be mapping the idea of hell onto what they're actually in. But when you go into the other world, they call it the labyrinth, and the Lord of the Labyrinth is not Lucifer, it is a object, this distended box, like extended thing, that they call Leviathan. Now, that is a biblical reference. I think Leviathan is a biblical creature, but the Lord of the Labyrinth is not Lucifer. It's Leviathan. And it really doesn't look or feel like hell the way that the Bible would present it. Or that, I shouldn't even say the Bible. The way that it's traditionally represented in most Christian versions of heaven and hell. It's basically a very M.C. Escher maze of hallways. It's really what it is. There's nobody that's being tortured as far as you can tell. You don't hear screams. There's no brimstone or hellfire or any of the traditional stuff. It's not there. It's very cold. There is a version of hell that's cold, which is the kind of, the inverted Satan trapped in ice. So there is that, but it's not even that. It's not like it's icy. What I mean is it's cold toned. It's cold colors. It's grays and blues but it's very, very clinical and sterile. There's no real organic nature to it, except for the beings within it who all have their kind of clothes that are, like sewn into their bodies that are bleeding, and the clothes are part of them, which they really go crazy with in the remake, which I like a lot. That's where they really take the idea that their clothes are formed from their actual skin being peeled off in many cases, which is beautiful in its horror. But in the originals, they're wearing leather. They're wearing, clothing that's sewn in and kind of hooked in directly with, into their skin. But it does not feel at all like what you would expect from the word hell. People refer to that as hell, and he says that later in the series, and that's where it starts to get murky. And then in the Clive Barker books, he does explicitly tie it back into the ideas of heaven and hell, like it is there. But it's definitely not like that in the first couple movies. It feels much more of another dimension. And even the idea of the Cenobites isn't one that they are suffering in the way that most people would understand it. It's that pain and pleasure are the same thing to them. It's kind of taking the S&M concept all the way. And they say, we're explorers in the realms of experience. They're not saying, we're going to take you and torture you for your sins. No, it's none of that. It's none of that. It's for these people who feel like they've gone as far as they can with really physical pleasure on Earth, and they want to go further. And it's like, well, okay, you can do that, but you better be sure that what you're getting is what you want. And that's how it works. So anyway, that has been my TED Talk for 15, 20 minutes now on the Hellraiser film. So we're going to stop now, because this was supposed to be about painting, and I actually am eager to go out and start painting this. Because like I said, I've got the black canvas. Right now, the painting... hold on. Let me just do this. Group all this stuff together. Group. Hold on. Because what I've got right now is... Group... Oh. Oh, that's what I've got right now. That's what's outside. And what I need to get to is, or the next step is going to be that. Or, oh, I forgot to turn everything on. The next step is going to be that. That's what I am going to accomplish today. So I'm going to get out there and get to it. So the goal is to get there. That's what we're going for. But for today, I have to do this and let this dry for 24 hours before I come in and do the actual big tree forms. So, oh, what I was saying is the nice part before I really went off the trail was the nice part is because of the grid system, this is mapped to a 24 by 36 canvas. So where I want my light to be is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 inches down. 7 by 11. Best viewers at streamboo.com. Wow. That's great. You suck. Goodbye. Remove this space. Oh, hey, Jay. Oh, Jay, you're getting here right at the end. Sorry. I'm just winding the stream up now. I don't know. Well, maybe you've been here for a while, but oh, here, I can show you. I'll show you what I'm doing. So before I went off into, actually, you know what, Jay, you would appreciate this probably. Hold on. Let me show you this. I was talking about my Hellraiser painting that I'm working on. So this is one of the paintings I've got going, but this right now is at the very early stages, which is literally all I have at the moment for this is that. But, which was not intended, this is what I was saying earlier, this was not intended as a Hellraiser painting, but then once I had the reds and the blacks and the lighter colors, there's really just nowhere else it's going to be able to go but into a Hellraiser painting, which is what I'm in the planning process with all this other stuff, is getting the patterning and everything, and I'm nervous about this one because I could so easily destroy it. But that's not what I'm working on today. What I'm working on today is this one. So this is the original painting I had done. I did this one. This is my kind of winter tree painting or whatever, which is based on the Bob Ross Golden Rays of Sunshine painting. And this came out well, and I like it. But what I'm going to go for now is what I think in my mind is what I should have, or what I think will be the kind of ultimate version of it, which is this one, the much more sinister version, which is this orange one where it's kind of this painted, with the light beams, but definitely more of an orange color going on in it. Yeah, this is what I want it to be. Oh, no, I do need the black there. That's what it's going for. Something like that. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Once you get the light beams coming off of that center white source, it's such a great piece of art. The problem is that anything that looks similar to it, you immediately think of it if you know it. You know what I mean? It's sort of, I mean, you can't escape it. The thing or the poster, which is not a complaint. It's not me criticizing. It's a great piece of art. But that's the thing is, yeah, that you see anything else and you immediately think of the thing because of those. I mean, geez, it's got to be one of the greatest posters of all time, right? I mean, it has to be. It's so good. That was Drew Struzan, right? Wasn't that Drew Struzan who did the Thing poster? It has to be. I think it is. Am I getting that wrong? Is it not Drew Struzan? Who did the Thing poster? I should know that. Yeah, it is. The Thing poster. Let's see. It's gotta be. It has to be Drew Struzan. No, maybe I'm not. Maybe not. Now that I'm saying that, maybe I'm wrong. Who did it? Who did the original artwork for it? Because we really should give credit to the right person. This is the official poster. Okay. Come on, somebody say who the artist was. Oh my God, really? Nobody credits the artist on these things? Jeez, unbelievable. Let's just buy. Yes, Drew Struzan, there it is. Somebody on eBay pointed it out. Yeah, because somebody's selling an original for $450. I mean, that's a beautiful poster. The only other person I thought might have done it was Bob Peak, just because of some of the color in it, but I didn't think so. I thought it was Drew Struzan. Bob Peak's another great poster artist, but yes, Drew Struzan, who just died in the last... God, it was pretty recently, wasn't it? What a loss. What a loss. I mean, don't get me wrong. His work is immortalized, so while he is gone, his work is certainly going to end up being one of those things that just lasts forever. It's so good. on so many movies that will, endure. So you could only hope to get close to that as an artist. To get one piece like that, let alone the amount that he's got, is it's remarkable. So anyway, I was drawing this to a close because I'm pretty sure the battery on my iPad is going to die pretty soon. And I want to get out and start painting this thing because now I'm kind of energized about it. But that's the goal, is to get this. This is what I'm going to be working on today, which is, again, the only part of it I'm going to get done today is this, because I have to let it dry for 24 hours. But regardless, that's how it goes. So, and then once this is dried, then I'm going to come in. So 24 hours, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll come in and do everything that isn't color related. So basically, this will be... tomorrow will be this part with the trees. Then I'll come in with the detail work, and then the rest of it will come in. So I'll post it in the Discord as I'm going through, and hopefully it comes out the way I want it to. We'll see. You never know, but that's the goal. But yeah, this is basically more or less. I may actually do a lighter color on this initially. Yeah, well, that, now you say that was the point, really, because, yeah, I wanted to see, this is with the black stripped off. This is the way the tree's going to actually look. Why does that white layer look weird to me? No, it's okay. It's fine. Because in this one, it's very tranquil. Like, this is the peaceful forest. And that's fine. Peaceful's good. But my inclination is gnarled, sinister, scary. So that's where this is going to end up. And that's what I kind of want it to be. And initially, I was thinking this yellow. But then once I pop the orange in, it makes more sense. Although I really do think I probably have to go... Well, there's going to be a lot more white, too. Because I couldn't really simulate it perfectly with this. This doesn't capture it really well. Because there's going to be more white. So you will see more of it. Because I can't do it with a digital brush as well. But I wanted to map this out. And make sure, what did I say that was? 7 and 11, right? I'll go to I think I said 7 by 11 because I want to place it in this area. And I also want it off center. So if you look at this one, the light's very centered. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, no, that's what, I want this type of thing for people who like it. But I know for me, it's going to be this. But that's what I mean. So this is very centered. The light is very centered. And then the tree is very centered. And I don't want that. I want this to be more off in terms of what you're seeing. So I'm going to literally, once I end this stream, I'm literally going to walk outside and do this part of it now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 11, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, that's what it's going to be. I was very, very smart to actually put this grid so that I can plan this out. So 7 by 11. 7 in, 11 down. From the left. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go and start painting because that's the point. So thank you for stopping by, Jay. Thank you for stopping by earlier, Mr. Pruitt, who I think has signed off because he probably has stuff to do. Oh, he's still there. So thank you both for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I will, for this painting, just like the other ones, I will be using my GoPro to record them. So you will eventually, and probably it's probably gonna be a couple weeks. But well, you know what, Jay? It's gonna. You can watch it again. I mean, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's gonna go up on YouTube, and that way you can go back and hear me going on about Hellraiser for 20 minutes because that's what people want out of an art stream, don't they? So yeah, I'm gonna go paint this. I will record not this part. Just putting white on with a sponge is really pretty boring. But like the last one, I'm going to GoPro the trees, that detail work, and then the color parts. So the more interesting bits I'll do my recordings of, which they might be actually pretty quick because, because the acrylic dries. I love Hellraiser too. I have the quadrilogy right behind me, which is perfect. First 4 movies is all you need. Really. After that, it really goes... I mean, it goes off the rails starting in 3, but I like 3 and I like 4. But anything after that... I watched one of the later ones, and oh boy, was it terrible. Oh, God. And, I mean, even Doug Bradley can't save some of that stuff. It's that bad. So anyway, I'm not going to start on that again. Like I said, you can go back and, I mean, this should be on YouTube instantaneously, I would assume. And then I always post it later anyway. But you could, I think you can just rewind from here, can't you? I think, no, you can. If you come into, oh wait, or you're on, are you from, I don't know how Twitch handles it. But if you go to the YouTube channel, I know anytime you're in part of the live thing, you can then rewind it and see the whole thing. Which I post the whole thing anyway. I don't edit any of that stuff unless I have a technical problem, which amazingly I haven't in a while. But I don't edit any of that stuff, so you'll see it all. And those post pretty quickly. But like I said, I'm not going to GoPro this stuff today. I'll do it when I do the other parts. Anyway, I'm going to get to painting, everybody. So thanks for being here. As a reminder, at the end, I try to always remember to do this. There's a lot of creators out there, and I'm not talking about myself, but there's a lot of other people out there who are highly creative and talented individuals who are trying to make a living from being creative individuals. And so I try to end every stream by saying that if you have the means, and that doesn't mean money, if it does, that's great if you can do that. But if you have some means to support those people and you enjoy their work, take 5 minutes and support those artists. And that can be just sending them a message of appreciation. That can be resharing their work to whatever social platforms you're on, subscribing to their channel if it's that. If you have the means to throw them some money, I don't know of any artist who's going to say no, so I'm sure that would be appreciated as well. But do not think that money is the only way you can do it. Appreciation and just telling somebody that you like their work. I point this out because it's really, really true. You don't know what place somebody creative is in. And for all you know, they've been spending the last 3-4 months struggling, trying to figure out whether they even want to do artwork anymore. I just watched a documentary about a woman who, and I don't want to start on this because it's gonna upset me, honestly, but it's a great documentary. It's called Goodbye Horses, The Many Lives of Q Lazarus. I just watched it, and it's about this woman who was an immensely talented woman. And from everything you would see at the time that it was happening, whose songs were featured in Married to the Mob, and then one of the most well-known scenes from Silence of the Lambs, the dance scene, which if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Beautiful voice, this wonderful personality, amazing like show presence. Jonathan Demme, the director, was trying to get her like a record, never got a record deal, never recorded or released a song outside of that one song. And when you watch this thing and see the stuff she was doing, it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. And at a point, she just decided, okay, it's not happening. And she gave up and she just left it all behind for a long time. And that's probably a pretty common story. And just knowing that people appreciated her work might have been enough to keep her going. I don't know. Everybody has their own circumstances in life, but that's what I mean about it doesn't have to be money. Certainly that's fine. People have to pill bays. They sure do. People have to pay bills. But there is also, I think for a lot of people, is if you feel like you're shouting into the void for too long, you start to wonder whether there's even a point in shouting anymore. And so just getting a note at the right time, and if it's just that, saying, hey, I really like your work, that could be enough. So do whatever things you can, because it's a very, very, very incredibly hard thing to be creative and to feel like you're being successful at it. And so you just don't know if that little word of encouragement might be the thing that turns a day around for somebody. And you know what? There's no reason you don't even want to do that. If you're just brightening somebody's day, there's no harm in doing that either. We probably all should do a little bit more of that. So thank you for being here. Your presence and your comments have brightened my day a bit. Now I'm going to go brighten it a little further with some actual literal white paint on a canvas. So the most brightening you can do for a color, which is white. And yeah, that's it. Probably back to the normal streaming schedule starting next week because of my nice long vacation where I have days that I can just do anything I want all day. Sadly going to be over. Back to work in the normal schedule. But yeah, I'll be back to the Monday thing. And I will be posting the videos of the painting stuff because I literally now have 4 paintings in progress, so which is the most I've had at any one time. And I have to start on a magic card because somebody actually commissioned one. So I got to get that going too. So I'm going to be doing a lot. That, I can't figure that out for the GoPro. Sorry. I tried to figure something out. It's never going to work. It's too small scale. I am going to take a picture of one of my paintings with the magic card next to it just to give an idea of the massive difference in scale working on the paintings now compared to working on one of these cards. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to shut up and get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I appreciate all of you. Hope you have a wonderful 2026. Happy New Year, because I think this is the first stream. Yeah, it is. Second. So Happy New Year, everybody who's seeing this, whenever you're seeing it. And until next time, thanks for being here, and take care.